The day has finally come when U-55 departs on another patrol. This will be my 13th war patrol, and I hope that is not a bad omen for me. We have spent almost 2 months on land, while our boat received a serious refit. I was told by the engineers in no uncertain terms that our boat has suffered so much abuse during its patrols and so many deep dives that the stress on the hull is starting to accumulate. Soon the boat will have to be withdrawn from frontline service and relegated to training duties. They advised me to be careful and to avoid diving too deep if not absolutely necessary. Those are words that, as a U-boat commander, you really don't want to hear. They even recommended that our boat should be deployed in an area with a low intensity of warfare. But I trust my boat. I have trust in its capabilities, in its reliability, and its strength. I'm sure that the boat will bring us home safe. Well, I do have to admit that after the hardships that we faced in our past patrols, I wouldn't be adverse to being deployed in an area that is calmer, that has a smaller likelihood of being engaged by escorts and being depth charged by them. I didn't just vacation during the past 2 months. I made sure that the boat is properly taken care of. I made sure that it is properly prepared for our departure. But I also worked in the staff of the BDU. And I have to say that all signs are pointing to the war at sea changing, and not in a way that I would appreciate. Enemy air patrols are becoming more and more effective, more and more numerous. British reconnaissance aircraft are becoming regular visitors above our harbors. The approaches to the harbors are frequently mined by airplanes, and shipping is often attacked. The Luftwaffe too often unable to stop the enemy airplanes. Sometimes I do wonder what they are even doing. On the news, they speak so much about the victories of our Luftwaffe. London in flames, London burning, this and that other insignificant town destroyed. But apparently that is not stopping the English airplanes. When will they do something against them? And then you hear the news about the economy. Unprecedented amounts of steel produced, unprecedented amount of tanks produced, and of aircraft. But where are they? They are certainly not in the skies above us. They also certainly aren't in the skies above England. They certainly are not attacking the convoys coming into their harbors, bringing more and more war supplies. In 39 and 40, we managed to catch England on the wrong foot. They were not prepared for what was coming for them. Even with our very small number of U-boats, and even with the very serious issues that we had with our torpedoes and that in part still persist to this day, we were able to do damage beyond all proportions to them. But those days, they are passing. And England is certainly doing their very best to catch up. And if we let this opportunity pass to end this war, to starve that nation of war material and to force a surrender, then I don't know how this war can be won for us in the long term. And when I did staff work for the BDU in the past month or so, I, to my great dismay, discovered that some of those people seem to be living in a completely different reality. Some of them really are true fanatics. The party and its leaders say the war will be won. And so it just has to be that way. No other possibility is even entertained. No other thought is allowed. These people genuinely seem to believe that just due to the supposed national superiority of our people over the other nations, we are going to win this war. What an insane way of thinking that is. As if our enemy couldn't be smarter than us? As if our enemy couldn't be working harder than us? Be willing to make more sacrifices than us? It's ridiculous. Honestly, never in my life have I seen or heard so many spineless, boot-licking, yes-saying, horseshit-spewing idiots as I did during my time when I worked at the BDU staff. And worst of all were those with the biggest party badges. I hated working there, and I'm glad to be out at sea again. Back at sea with a crew that I trust and that I can rely on. I fear that we are losing our focus in this war. Our focus should be on blockading Britain. That is the most important thing. That is what will win us the war. It doesn't matter how many riches the British colonies have if those riches can't reach their island. Instead of focusing all our forces and efforts on a total blockade of Britain, we are thinking about sending submarines into the Mediterranean Sea. I can't even imagine a worse theater for submarines at the moment. And that is if they survive the voyage past Gibraltar. Instead of preparing and concentrating our troops for an invasion of England, we are sending them piecemeal to Yugoslavia, Albania, Greece, North Africa, all in an effort to help our Italian allies. We are losing our focus. Waging a big war and grabbing as much land as possible has somehow become more important than finishing this war with a quick and decisive blow to the enemy. An enemy that has sunk already 38 U-boats since the outbreak of the war. An enemy that seems to be getting stronger each day. An enemy who is doing his utmost to make our life more difficult. I shudder when I think about the radar appearing on more and more escorts. About the enemy planes becoming more and more frequent in the sky. Hello there, and welcome on board U-55 as we commence our 13th war patrol with the OneAlex Mod Edition in Silent Hunter 3. Oh boy, it has been a very long voyage already. 13th war patrol. Who would have thought that we would make it this far? Who would have thought indeed? I certainly wouldn't. Well, we are now in 1941, 31st of March, so tomorrow, 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Maybe the crew will play some jokes on each other, who knows. But for now, we are continuing on our way towards our patrol area. A patrol area that is really far away this time. I mean, let me show you. Our patrol area is all the way down here in EK78, west of Guinea. That's where we are going. That's still, well, almost 4,000 kilometers away. And right now, we are west of the Portuguese coast, so we already traveled quite a bit from the French coast. We traversed the Gulf of Biscay in the cover of a storm, so we didn't have any incidents with enemy aircraft. They probably were not able to patrol the area. But now as we are traveling further south, we are getting closer and closer to Gibraltar, a British base where they of course do have aircraft that are patrolling the seas. So as we get further south, we may come into their range, and we will have to be a little bit careful with that. I imagine that when we do hit the Canary Islands here, that we will be more or less out of their range, and I will then slow down the boat a bit. We are burning quite a lot of fuel. I'm gonna be honest, this patrol is really gonna stretch our fuel reserves. This is pretty close to the operational range of our U-boat. But if needs be, if we are in danger of running out of fuel, then we can refuel at a tanker here in Las Palmas on Gran Canary, or we can once again visit Cadiz and refuel at the tanker Thalia. Yeah, that's the plan right now. The plan right now is simply to travel south to our patrol area and hopefully meet some nice and juicy targets along the way. Maybe a large convoy, maybe a nice big fat merchant or tanker, who knows. We have a very nice loadout of torpedoes on board that we will use to wreak havoc on the enemy. Let me turn the auto-loading off before I forget it. Great. Okay. So, let's continue on our way, and let's hope that when we resume this video, we are not looking at enemy aircraft diving out of the sky, but that we are looking at smoke over the horizon. Welcome back, and will you look at that? What a sight, isn't it? We are currently, let me show you, passing the island of Gran Canaria. Gran Canaria? Yeah. So that's where we are right now. I deliberately went close to the coast because I really do wanted to have a look at that. And from here on, we still have 2,000 kilometers to travel until we arrive at our patrol area. So far, no contacts along the way. It has been an absolutely uneventful and calm voyage. Nothing's happening at all. Which is just as it goes sometimes. But I think this is quite an interesting thing to see in a game. In this game, I mean, because usually you don't get that close to the shore. Nice. Very nice. Gran Canary, the islands here of course are neutral. They belong to Spain, so at the moment we don't have to worry about any enemies in this area. But as we now travel further south, as we get closer and closer to our patrol area, we will come into range of Freetown, where once again the British probably have aircraft stationed, and our patrol area definitely should be within their range. That's at the most 700 something kilometers. So we will have to be careful once we arrive down there. Yeah, that could maybe be an issue, but we'll see. We will see about that. We still have a long way to go, and I hope that along the way we will meet some British shipping that is traveling towards the north or the south on the way around the Cape of Good Hope here. Ah well. Let's continue our little journey here. Aircraft sighted. Speed up and crash dive. Where is he? There they are. Not quite sure what that is. Let's take another quick look. Still not sure what kind of airplane that is, but I very much doubt that it is anything friendly to us. Well, we are diving.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Tiefe unter Kiel ist 1-0-0.
We are at the moment struggling to dive. Come on, bring the boat down. Damn waves. Okay, there we go. Diving fast now. Yeah, diving very fast now.
Derzeitige Tiefe 2-0.
Let's hope they didn't see us. But where are we right now? We are not out in the Atlantic. As you can see, this time we are out very, very far south of the west coast of Africa, just west of Guinea. That is our patrol area for this patrol. And getting here was a long, long voyage, many thousands of kilometers. Actually, our fuel reserves are already down by 1/3. Which is alright, I will just have to preserve a bit of fuel inside the patrol area. Let's slow down the boat. And let's get somebody on the hydrophone. No, just in case. So, there are two possibilities. that I want to talk about right now. The airplanes that we just saw. Option number 1. Those were British airplanes coming from Freetown. 700 kilometers. That should be within their operational range, especially if we are talking about twin-engined planes with big fuel tanks, like those two appear to be. Option number 2, those were Vichy French planes coming from Dakar, which is even closer. I didn't get a good look at those planes, but at the moment I have to assume that they are enemy planes and that we are in range of Freetown air patrols. The next question that we need to ask ourselves is, how frequent are their patrols out here at sea? Can I risk to stay surfaced during the day? We will have to see. For now, I am surprised that those airplanes actually did not spot me. They did come... wait. They did come from the east. It doesn't tell me much. But maybe French planes, I don't know. Could be. Flying from French West Africa. It's a possibility, certainly. It's certainly a possibility. So why are we here actually? We are here because of British shipping that is going from India, for example, or from Africa, around the Cape of Good Hope, and then sailing north along the African coast, to then continue on north towards England. This place where we are here is a good place to intercept that shipping. It certainly is. We are right in their way. Now, why would the British go all the way around here instead of simply going through the Suez Canal, which is here? Well, there are a few reasons for that. First of all, at the moment, or well, I should say currently, the Germans are making progress in Africa. They captured Benghazi not too long ago, I think just a few days actually, and they're advancing towards Tobruk. So there is some pressure being put on the Suez Canal. The next thing is, now that Iraq, I think, has just had a pro-German government change. So the British are under a lot of pressure in the Middle East, and it makes it more difficult for them to traverse ships through here and into the Mediterranean, where they also might be attacked by Luftwaffe aircraft flying from the Greek Isles, for example, or flying from North Africa. They can't really get anywhere without being at serious danger, especially not to Britain. So if they want to get shipping to Britain and they don't have control over the Mediterranean, they have to go around Africa. That's why this here should be a good hunting ground. However, of course it can't compare to the big convoy routes across the Atlantic, where the shipping is traveling from America to England. But we'll see. I am positive that we will find something worthwhile in here. For now though, we will simply continue this patrol. I'll stay submerged for a few hours, and then we'll surface again. And I'm still curious why those planes did not spot me. Maybe they were not enemy planes after all. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. Let's continue. We have another aircraft alert. Crash dive.
Beide Maschinen
210. It's again those aircraft. I think they're British. Let me have another look at that. There they are. They spotted me, they're coming towards me. Yeah, this time they're coming. Come on, dive the boat. There we go. Switch to electric engines.
Derzeitige Tiefe 2,0.
Okay. Come on, dive.
Derzeitige Tiefe 3,0.
Dive, dive, dive.
Derzeitige Tiefe 4,0.
Okay, that's good. That's good, we are making distance.
Derzeitige Tiefe 5,0.
So yeah, this time I'm pretty sure that those planes are indeed
Derzeitige Tiefe 6,0.
British.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 2,90.
The way they turn towards me, I would be surprised if there are anything else. There we have the confirmation. Okay, good job, got away. Let's keep going fast. Until we get a little bit more distance to the position where we dived. So, that has given me a very important information. The planes are British. We are about 750 kilometers away from Freetown. They can reach us. So unfortunately, while our patrol area is in a good position to intercept shipping, it's also in a good position to be intercepted by aircraft, which might mean that I have to stay submerged during the day. According to the weather, I will have to determine that on a day-to-day basis. If the weather is clear and visibility is excellent, then we can stay surfaced. If it is like today, then maybe I'm better off beneath the surface. Alright. I think we can slow down.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Good. Right. Let's continue the patrol. Now we know that we will have to be more bombs. I'm curious, what kind of plane are we looking at here? Some of you guys in the comments are real plane experts. Oh wait, what is this? I'm actually not sure what plane that was, so let me know in the comments. I do like their jungle camouflage, it looks great. But I am really not sure what kind of plane that was. It was a British plane, that seems for certain. But which one? Or is that something... is that an American plane? Given to them? Okay, let me know. Some of you guys are really knowledgeable about planes. So, I'm counting on you. Right, with that said, we'll continue our patrol. We'll stay submerged for the rest of the day. And then, yeah, then we'll just have to see tomorrow how the weather looks. We have a big problem. We have an aircraft overhead. It just strafed us a little bit. I have no idea where it is. I just hear the sound. It's too damn dark. How the hell does an aircraft even find me in this pitch black darkness? We dive. I mean, seriously. I think it was to my front somewhere. Look how dark it is. Down, let's go. It's no use.
Derzeitige Tiefe 1-0.
Come on, dive, 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 before that thing swings back.
Derzeitige Tiefe 2-0.
Alright.
Derzeitige Tiefe 3-0.
Any damage to the boat? Doesn't seem like it, no.
Tiefe 4-0.
Doesn't seem like it, we're good.
Derzeitige Tiefe 5-0.
Well, that was close.
Derzeitige Tiefe 6-0.
That was close. Okay. But we are now safe. However, I feel like I have to break character here for just a moment to talk about something. About the way that the game creates aircraft. As I understand it, maybe I'm wrong with this, but I think I got the gist of it. The game spawns in aircraft. It decides, I guess, pretty much randomly when it will do so. However, the big problem is that the game always, when it spawns aircraft, it spawns them so that they are flying towards you. Which is a big problem. That is also the reason why every time we see aircraft, they are already coming straight for us, even if they haven't spotted us yet. And here we can hear the aircraft above. Let me show you this. I can't see. Oh, there it is. No, lost it. It's too dark. Look at this pitch black darkness. We even have a thunderstorm rolling in. To me, that's ridiculous. And yeah, what I was about to say, the game spawns an aircraft in such a way that they are already flying towards you. That means that even in bad weather, even in the pitch black of night, the aircraft will spot you as soon as it gets to close range. So far, I don't think I've experienced a situation where my crew spots an aircraft and that aircraft isn't flying towards me. Or more or less towards me, in such a way that it will spot me if it stays on that course. We never had a situation where an aircraft is passing by on the horizon, my crew spots it, warns me of the aircraft, but the aircraft just continues on and flies by some kilometers away from me, but within sight. We never had that happen. It's always spawned to come straight towards my submarine. And to be honest, I don't quite know how to deal with that, because this situation that we are in right now, this could have been the end of my campaign here, and do remember, I'm playing a Dead is Dead campaign. If that aircraft, which I don't think should be even flying at night at this time in the war, but if that aircraft, if it is randomly spawned in such a way that it is sure to detect me, even in pitch black darkness, way before my crew has a chance to detect the aircraft, then we have a problem. Then we have a serious problem, and I'm not quite sure how to deal with that yet. I would actually appreciate your input on this in the comments. I really would. How best to deal with this? It is really interfering with my goal for this campaign, where my goal is to take the patrol area that I'm assigned to and to perform my patrol as much in this patrol area as possible, because yes, the obvious solution would just be to sail out of the range of the aircraft. But that just was the case during the war. U-boats were assigned to areas that were patrolled by aircraft. It is impossible to completely avoid that. Our harbors are in France. The area is patrolled by aircraft, there's no way around it. And I cannot stay submerged all the time. I have to recharge batteries. And, well, if already at this point in the war I'm not safe at night, and the aircraft can basically detect me just as if they would have a radar, because that's what it amounts to. If the aircraft is always flying towards me, radar or no radar, then the radar doesn't really make a difference. Huh. Tricky situation. Not sure how to deal with that. For now, we will continue this. Oh, and by the way, there's something else that I wanted to mention really quick. I started a new Gravity Team Tactics campaign on my channel. For those of you who don't know Gravity Team Tactics, have a look. The game is really amazing. The first battle that we had in the first episode wasn't that special, I would say. There wasn't much input required from my side, but I'm sure that campaign will be quite brutal, and yeah, the game is very interesting, so do have a look at that. Now, let's continue this. Let's see if we can maybe surface again later in the night. For now, slow down. Let's keep going. And we once again find ourselves under attack in the absolute darkness of this night. Dark. Let's see. Minor damage to the thermic. Thankfully nothing serious. Dive, come on. Get us beneath the waves. Here we go. And now keep going. Keep going, bring us down deep.
Derzeitige Tiefe 2-0.
My problem here is becoming more apparent. Do I now have to stay submerged during the night to avoid enemy aircraft?
Derzeitige Tiefe 4-0.
I mean, you have just seen how pitch black it is up there. There is just no way that these aircraft should spot me 2 times this night in that pitch black darkness. And yet they did.
Tiefe 6-0.
I have to admit, I am a little bit annoyed because of that. It is too early in the war for planes to be equipped with radar sets, which would help them to find me in this darkness. And especially not down here well, down here so far away from the main theater of operations in Europe. The other issue is that it just happened so damn fast. I couldn't even hit the record key before bullets started flying. My crew didn't even report the aircraft before the first bullet started to hit our deck. How do you deal with that? It's not as if that is something that won't happen later in the war when planes have radars. But at that point in time you expect it, you are prepared for it, and at least your anti-aircraft armament is a bit stronger than mine is at the moment. Even if that probably won't help much. But those aircraft? If they had dropped bombs now... Speaking of bombs, here they are. But what is my best course of action right now? Is it best for me to stay submerged during the night and then surface during the day to recharge my batteries? Is that how it's going to be from here on out, which is way too early in the war for that to happen? If they had dropped those bombs on their initial attack run, then this whole campaign could be over right now. Well, I'll stay submerged for the rest of the night and will surface in the morning to recharge the batteries. Welcome back. It is now early morning, and as you can see, well, here's my problem really. It is now daytime. Usually you would think that it would be a good idea to stay submerged now if aircraft are expected in the area, but I need to recharge my batteries. And well, if they can find me at night in that pitch black soup, it was basically just as overcast as it is now. But at night, I really don't know if aircraft would even be flying in such conditions. Flying on patrol, I mean. Because it doesn't make much sense. But okay, here we are. My problem now is... give me a weather update. Heavy clouds. That means that even now in daylight hours, my crew will have a hard time spotting an aircraft diving out of those clouds. And I mean have a hard time spotting it before it gets to shoot at me and bomb me. I will have to adjust my tactics. Something that some of you have said a few times in the past already, in the past few episodes, that I'm getting a little bit too... how should I say? A little bit too careless with aircraft. But I felt like that situation was still kind of okay. Now I feel that this is becoming really difficult from here on out. Because I can't count on the night time to keep me safe. It is just as if the aircraft had radar at this point, although they don't. And if they can find me in that pitch black darkness, then I'm in for some bad times. We'll see. I'll think of something. For now, I think we're ending today's episode here because it's already been quite a while, and I'm not sure how much longer I will have to patrol before we finally find a contact. I have been out here for a long time already, and so far, nothing. So, I'll continue the patrol. You go and have a watch at the Gravity Tactics Meus Front episode. And we'll see each other next time. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye.